Hello, welcome back for video number 2. Um, this one is um, a little bit different than what I was thinking about before. Because before I was thinking I was just going to have I work on things behind the scene and then I put them out there once they're finished, and that's kind of what you all would see. It's just like a semi-finished or a finished product, and then I just kind of explain what I did to get to that point. Um, but I was trying to think of how to actually make videos out of that, since this is YouTube and not Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it now. Um, and I thought, you know what, it might be a little bit better if I instead just do it along with you guys, and then I can kind of explain the process as I'm going through it. Give a little more insight on what and how I'm doing things and like why I'm doing them, and I don't know, make it more entertaining in the long haul, rather than just, hey, here's what I worked on over the past 2 days. Cool, see ya. I think this will be a lot better. Um, but yeah, I guess first let's get into what I've done since I posted the last video. In the last video, I was basically straight out of being emotional, like I was saying, and I was still kind of in that headspace of everything I do is kind of a failure, and I don't want to be giving up anymore, and I just need to do something. Um, since then, I've sort of come to that inspiration a little bit. Um, I've had the chance to go and hang out with some friends, and we played some Magic the Gathering and had ramen and just hanging out. Today's actually Mother's Day, so I went home and hung out with my family for a little bit. And it's cleared things up, and it's made me feel a lot better inside. I'm feeling a lot better over these last few days than I was when I made the video that I posted last time. Um, but yeah, so I guess um, we can talk about how on Friday night, I think it was. Yeah, Friday night, I went to Walmart and I picked up a sketchbook, and along with that sketchbook, hold on. Sorry, this is new to me, so I don't even know how to position the camera or anything. Along with that sketchbook, I went and picked up a pencil sharpener and some pencils and some colored pencils. I have yet to use the colored pencils. Even back in high school, I didn't really use them that much. Um, and that camera is not focused at all. How do people focus cameras? Do you just like wait for it, or there we go. That's better. Oh yeah, even in high school, I didn't use colored pencils that much. I think I really dabbled with them a tiny bit once I graduated. But that was pretty close to when I stopped doing art. Um, so I got them to try and kind of test around with, see what I like. Try new things. That's pretty much what this is about, is trying new things. But on Friday, I went ahead and started using them a little bit because I was excited that night. And I drew this. Um, I'll go ahead and put up the inspirational photo now. I'll leave that up for like 2 seconds. But that's what this piece was based on. Um, the person in the photo is, as it says here, Demon Dice Karen. She is a musical artist that went on to make a bunch of music, and she animates music videos for a couple different groups, and now she's doing like streaming of video games and things like that along with all of those other things, and has since become very successful. But in about 2020, when I first found her, she was just getting into that that fame, I guess. Um, and I was learning a lot about her lyrics and her story, and it was all very close to home with what I feel and what inspires me. Um, and I have posted this around in maybe two or three different places on my actual main accounts. So if you've seen it before, that was me. You know me outside of this channel somehow. But I'm doubtful and most people will have seen it. Um, but yeah, I this piece took me I think about 2 hours. Um, I honestly I think it's pretty good for not having drawn since like 2018. But there are a lot of things that I don't like about it. Like the shading right here on the mask, I think could have been a little bit darker to not be as contrasty and looking like it's supposed to be skin or something. I didn't realize it before I considered this piece finished, but the shading around the eyes I kept too much. It really should come back up and swoop into here and then have like a string of it come down rather than just big block the whole side of the face. The eyes don't really match well, and the right one here is more just like a darker image, whereas the left one is there's kind of a little bit of color to the iris and then darker for the pupil, but it's not exactly what I want. So I need to practice that in the future. Um, the hat shape doesn't really align with the actual image that I was going off of. I think the hand could use a lot of work because I feel like what is that point? Like the pinky is a little bit too long and slender, whereas other parts like the thumb and these two fingers are perfectly sized with each other, but in relation to the rest of the drawing and the other fingers are a little bit too big. So I think I need to work on scaling issues quite a bit. And then the shading of the hair, I think I did a decent job up in the upper portion, but once it got down to the lighter portions that are just kind of taking up the whole rest of the piece, I guess I was just kind of trying to rush through the painting or drawing, whatever you want to call it. Um, and it feels a lot more lacking than it did up here. Um, and then onto the lettering. The lettering is based off of a cover for one of her older albums called I think it's Red, White, and Black. Um, that's the titling for her name that she used on the cover of that album. It was really quickly done, and the spacing and the lining of all the letters doesn't really match up to anything. So I think that definitely needs to be worked on. Um, but overall, I do think it is a decent piece for the amount of time that it took and for how long it's been since I've done something like this. Um, but I was thinking that today, since I'm feeling a little inspired, we can try doing a new piece together. I'm just trying to think of what to do that on now. Um, because I was thinking a little bit that maybe we would try to get away from a realistic aspect and try to go more like anime-esque, where we go into maybe drawing like Naruto or some anime source that I have been with for a while. Like Naruto, I've been watching it since I was 5. That's a major portion of my life, as you can see right here. This is the nine-tailed fox from Naruto as my mouse pad. So yeah, I am thinking maybe we can do that, but maybe something different, like trying to draw a video game character or something. I don't know. I'm probably going to pause the recording and take a little bit to think about what I want to do, and then replay and come back once we get there, so that you guys aren't sitting here waiting for me to come up with it. Um, yeah, I guess I will be back once I come up with something. All right. I figured out what we're gonna draw. I'm going to put an image of it up now. Um, Maybe I'll try to find a way to like keep it in the corner or on the side or something while we're drawing so that you can keep like an update on it. Um, I have chosen the first manga cover for Naruto. It being the initial cover for Naruto, it's kind of like the one that set it all off. Um, it also, I don't know, it just means a lot to me. I do have a figure that's like a copy of this. It's not licensed, so I don't think it's special or anything. Because it was through like a third party Chinese company that, yeah, it really shouldn't have been made, and I shouldn't have paid for it, but I wanted it. So, um, but yeah, so we're gonna draw this. I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long if that's what it takes me to draw this. So a lot of this is going to be me just listening to the music that I have in the background, um, and just allowing the video to be maybe 2 times speed or something like that, and just pausing whenever I notice that I was saying something that I feel is important or just wanted to get across. But yeah, and then you guys can just kind of hang out and follow along and watch the process, I guess. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to it.
Cliff.
Well, and there we go. That is the finished piece after about 2 hours. Um, Honestly, I think it does look pretty good again, but I don't think it's perfect. There's definitely a lot of proportion issues I was running into near the end. Um, I wish I'd made the whole thing a little bit smaller because I would have wanted to get the frogs into it, or maybe even the actual title card. But you know, um, I also didn't realize how static the colored pencils would be. I figured I would be able to go in lightly with for the hair example, go in lightly with like a yellow, and then go in afterwards with like a darker yellow or an orange to give the highlights. But once the yellow was colored in, it was pretty much stuck the way it was. Um, so I kind of changed it up and was doing drastic shading later on with like leaving the space open for the other colors rather than trying to cover color over top of what was already there. Um, but it just wasn't working and it just doesn't look as good as what I was thinking it was going to. Um, but yeah, I think overall I'm pretty happy with it. I just wish it was better. I don't think it's my best work. But then again, whoever does. Um, But yeah, so that's what I will mark as my creative piece for today. I will be having at least another one sometime this week, probably closer to Thursday or Friday, since I have some stuff I have to do for work tomorrow, and I don't know how long that's going to take or where it's going to leave me and things. Um, but yeah, expecting another video with different creative things probably around Thursday or Friday. And I didn't expect, I mean, I'm going to phrase this as blow up, as a couple hundred people saw it and maybe like 20 people commented on it. But in my mind, that is huge. That's way more than I ever expected to see it, much less within only the title video and not anything actually posted on the channel. But yeah, I really appreciate the blow up, as I said earlier, that you guys had on that video, and I hope that I can live up to the expectations that everyone was probably getting from having seen that, and maybe even have what I'm doing here go on to have all of you want to start your own channels or start making your own drawings and uploading them to the groups that you're in to try and get better or share on that inspiration with other people. Um, but yeah, I don't know how to end videos yet, so I'm probably just gonna end it like it did last time. But again, I really appreciate everyone who sees it and comments or likes or anything like that. It means more than a lot of things in my life. See you.